You'd expect a thriller about an amnesiac to be forgettable, but this will stay in my mind for ages. My name's Charlie, and this is what's distracting me right now. You'd expect a thriller about an amnesiac to be forgettable, but this will stay in my mind for ages. My name's Charlie, and this is what's distracting me right now. So Memento is a film that is directed by Christopher Nolan of the Dark Knight fame and follows a person with short-term memory loss, and has quite an interesting twist to it. The movie is effectively played in reverse, with each scene being the chronological predecessor to the last one. This means that the start of the movie is the chronological end, and the end of the movie is the chronological start. Confused? Yeah, so was I during the first half hour of the movie, but you get into the swing of things eventually. I can see a lot of people needing to watch this movie a couple times just to understand it properly. Especially if you only watch the movie casually, which it isn't that sort of film. You have to be paying attention during all of it. Now, while most mystery films involve you trying to figure out what is going to happen at the end and the main person that did something or the main event that is going to happen, blah blah blah, you'll figure it out at the end. This has you trying to figure out how this led up to these events. You think you know what will happen at the start because you started with the end, but no, I changed what I thought I was going to be the beginning around 3 times during the course of the movie. And all 3 of them, of course, were incorrect. The reverse chronology works quite well in this respect as a mystery film for that, because when you are given a certain thing that you have no idea what happened, it's always really satisfying to actually see it get written out. He has these photos and he writes out labels on them to annotate the person or the item or whatever, and it's always really satisfying to see it and go, that's how that got there. That's quite cool. And the ending, I had no idea that it would end like that, and I felt really bad that I couldn't figure it out. That's the fun of mystery films, I guess, trying to figure out the mystery before the people in the film do, and I was completely wrong. In most of them I can do it before the characters do, but in this one I changed my theory of what happened pretty much at the end of every scene, because you're also trying to figure out how that scene started as well as the movie itself. The main plot is also intercut with a black and white sequence of the main character talking down a phone about a client that he used to have, and that's kind of a little mystery in itself, but the difference between that is played in chronological order, whereas the main plot plays in reverse chronological order, and they both come together and tie everything up in a nice little neat bow at the end, or the start of the film, or the end of the sequence, or the start of the main plot. This film is really confusing. The only really weak spot for me, I'd have to say, is the characters. Not the main character played by Guy Pearce. He's a really interesting, complex character, but it's kind of the side supporting cast. They just weren't as interesting to me. I just wish I could have spent more time with characters like Ted and Natalie to find out what their motives are. Well, you find out what Teddy's is, but Natalie, I have no idea why she did what she did. Maybe I just missed something because I was caught up in the mystery of the film, but I still don't know her motive behind everything yet. So in conclusion, Memento is a fantastic psychological thriller that keeps the mystery going throughout the entire film. The editing and pacing of the flick is beat for beat perfect, which is very interesting how they pulled it off, considering that everything's in a reverse chronological order. I'd recommend this film to anyone that can follow a complex film, but if you find things like Looper and Inception a little confusing, then I'd give this one a miss. I guess it's kind of subjective depending on the sort of person. But to finish this off, what is your favourite thriller film? Now, thrillers are my favourite genre of films, so it's quite hard for me to choose, but I'd have to go with American Psycho. It's just such a deep, fantastic, twisted film, and I just love it to death. Christian Bale, he's fantastic, and he's actually the reason that I wanted to get into acting, and is the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. So, that film. I'm Charlie, and you'd expect a thriller about an amnesiac to be forgettable. And all three of them were incorrect as well. The reverse chronologically, blah 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 blah. Why can't I say that word?